It's a big day in Washington with the House passing its version of the Build Back Better plan and the suspense continuing over the reappointment of Jay Powell as Fed chair. For a rundown of this very busy day, we turn now to our Washington correspondent, Annmarie Hordern, who is at the White House. So, Annmarie, it's a toss-up which one we start with. Let's start with the Fed, because this has got a lot more suspense with it than I thought it was going to, and if anything, maybe it heightened overnight.
Yes, it certainly has heightened, and we're still waiting for the president to make that decision. What we do know is that it should come before Thanksgiving. And what I was reporting overnight, David, is that Senator Joe Manchin, who we know has taken issue with transitory inflation, he had a meeting already with Chair Jay Powell. He's setting up another meeting with Chair Jay Powell, and also his team is looking at meeting with Governor Brainard. He wants to sit down with her as well and get her thoughts on inflation and what kind of chair she would be. So it's very interesting to see this key senators start to play roles. We also heard this morning from Senator Merkley as well as Senator Whitehouse putting out a joint statement saying that Jay Powell should not be reappointed because of his stance on climate change. And if you look at just the most recent press conference from the chair in early November, when asked about whether or not the Fed should take a stance on telling banks that they should not be loaning to, say, fossil fuel or coal companies, which we should note is also important for Senator Manchin, he said, no, that's not in our mandate. That's up for Congress to decide and then give us a mandate. So you can see potentially progressives really maybe starting to put their weight behind Governor Brainard, because climate change and what the Fed should do about it is really becoming a key focus of this race for the top spot at the Fed.
Yeah, I must say, Annmarie, it shows why that's such a hard job, because as he testifies up on Capitol Hill, the Republicans don't want him to go as far on climate change. A lot of the progressives wanted to go farther. So he's sort of between a rock and a hard place. The other big issue, of course, is that Build Back Better. We did get a vote in the House finally. It did approve. Tell us about what happens next.
Yeah, and you saw the Democrats on the floor, David, fist bumping, dancing. They were so excited about this. But this is just one hurdle they passed. Yes, it's certainly a big day, and it's a key hurdle for the Democratic Party. But then it goes to the Senate, and you and I both know that with the slimmest majorities they can have, 50 Democratic senators they need to get on board. We already knew that there's been issues leading up to this day with Senator Manchin when it comes to things like fossil fuels, Senator Sinema when it comes to taxes. But any individual senator can have an issue with a provision or a policy and hold up this bill. And there's less than 2 weeks of technical working days. Yes, they can stay late or potentially come back on their recess, but this is just one of the issues they need to clear. And Senator Schumer says they want to get it done before Christmas, on top of a looming debt ceiling in the middle of December, a stopgap funding measure, also a defense authorization bill, a China competitive bill, as well as potentially the start of a Fed hearing, David.